Okay, starting to record. Right, so assignment 2, I might as well just do this badly and then just flip between the slides. Share now. Right, here we go. So nothing to worry about. My goodness me, this is slow. So nothing to worry about there. I think you guys know at this stage I want an introduction, I want a conclusion, and I want decent grammar, decent writing. Yeah, the one thing I want to give some feedback on is the use of Indeed. It's not a peer-reviewed source. Too many people are using non-peer-reviewed sources. To also just say, somebody got 100%. It's the first time ever in a long time that I've given 100% for a BMNG 7321 or 7322 assignment. It was an immaculate submission. Interestingly enough, I see the persons on this call. So there was 100% assignment. It was an absolute immaculate masterpiece of what I'm expecting at this level. No non-peer-reviewed submissions. Please also, if you are going to give me submissions, make sure that the theory you use is appropriate. If you automatically default to bloody Google and just search Google for answers, that is not where you're going to find the correct answers. Blogs and Indeed, I don't know what people's obsession with Indeed is, will not give you the appropriate theoretical content. You need to use the textbook as the basis of your discussion. Then you plug in other sources. Those other sources have to be peer-reviewed sources. In addition to that, you also have to stay away from any form of pedia. People seem to think that Investopedia is something that is appropriate to use. And then the referencing is absolutely shocking. For 2 people, I took 10% off for their referencing because they write an entire paragraph and then right at the bottom of an entire answer, they put the entire reference. So you'll see that I've suggested you go speak to the librarian. Please don't come back to me and say, oh, but my first and second year lecturers ignored that. That's between you and your first and second year lecturers, to be honest with you. I can only apply the standards that we expect from a third year and what we expect from academia and a post-school qualification. My standards are correct because your first and second year lecturers were less than that's between you and them. Some people were immaculate in terms of their writing and in terms of their referencing, and there were a number of 80% pluses as well as the 100% person. There were some people close to 90%. There's some really excellent submissions. Okay, right, so this naked insurance again. Sorry, hold on a sec. So, a strategic consultant, you are tasked to advise naked. Right, so we are asked to briefly introduce strategic decision making. Now, if we look at, and now I can't see what's in the background, so you need to not type. If you want to talk, activate your microphone, please. Okay, so in terms of strategic decision making, we're looking at Learning Unit 4, and this is now where we are going to flash between the slides. I'm going to open the slides and then we'll go through it. So you're looking at Learning Unit 4, and you are looking at, and I want someone to keep a record of this for me. Didn't somebody already keep a record and upload this for us onto the group? Did someone do that for us already? Where is 321 on here? Sorry, Jolie, I see you've got a message on there. Has someone not already done this for us?
HB, can you hear me?
Oh, somebody, yeah, you've done the notes for us.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if you can hear me, but yeah.
Yeah, I can. Thank you.
Okay, great.
Okay. So please look at the notes. So it is 427. Now, in terms of that, we are looking at Learning Unit 6. Now, if I've got that, I don't have to actually keep that open. I can flash away from that. So this is Learning Unit 4, Slide 6. The second one, Leah, is so the pestle analysis. Yeah, and then I sent a pic to, so the pestle analysis, I sent a pic. I will discuss that now. It's a wonderful, colorful pic. I will discuss how we use that. And then the strategic CI cycle, Michelle, I'll discuss that now, is slides 21 to 23. And then we will look at, are they asking for a SWOT analysis? Okay, and we'll do a SWOT analysis. I will chat about that. And thanks, Leo, for reminding me about the verb thing. And then obviously to acquire Grenadilla assurance, and we will look at that. Okay, so you've got an idea of where these are. Let me go to the slides now. So I need to stop sharing this and start sharing the slides. And I know somebody sent me a WhatsApp yesterday. I was absolutely overwhelmed with work. I think it was you, Michelle, is that right? Asking for help, and I was really, really just lazy and busy. Sorry, Michelle, okay. Right, so if we look at strategic decision making and we look at it in terms of the actual question, so we're looking at an introduction to strategic decision making and a macro environmental analysis. So remember, we're not looking at the entire environmental analysis. All we're looking at is in fact the pestle analysis here. So strategic decision making is really about looking and anticipating changes in the external environment. And in order to anticipate changes in the external environment, we need to somehow collect information about the external environment. And once we've collected information about the external environment, there is no magic crystal ball that gives you exact answers about the crystal environment. Please, I just need. So no one has a magic crystal ball. And I know there are some clairvoyants that claim that they can tell you what is going to happen. But the simple truth is that you need to look at alternatives. And in that, you need to start thinking about what we are going to do in addressing these anticipated changes. Now, whether we create scenarios, etc., it doesn't really matter. Key in terms of deciding those alternatives is then to look at the decision criteria. And when we look at those decision criteria, the options are return on investment, what it's going to cost the organization. I think in terms of the modern definition that we now know relates to what we consider stakeholder or what we consider strategic, sustainable, competitive advantage to be, would always be stakeholder wealth. So I always think that we start there. We start at stakeholder impact and we look at stakeholder wealth creation, because it is about sustainability. It is about competitive advantage. Now, doing this is going to be always about thinking first, because thinking first is about anticipating changes in the environment and then creating your organization so that it positions itself so that when future becomes present, you're ready for that then present. It's not always perfect because the world is a nut job place. No one would have predicted that Russia was going to invade the Ukraine, was going to attack the Ukraine. So there will always be these surprises. No one really was going to predict the collapse of the banks in America this time around. So we have these kind of crises that happen. So there will always be those moments of reactive thinking as well. But the ideal would be proactive action. Always the ideal would be proactive action. Looking into the future, anticipating, and then creating a set of alternatives to position the organization. And I'm just going to repeat myself so that when future becomes present, the organization has every little bit in the organization ready and aligned to deal with the then present. Right, now the CI, and also what a pestle analysis is. If you look at the WhatsApp group, and I'm going to ask that you look at the WhatsApp group. It's a little bit of a pain trying to flash between all the pictures that I want to share. But the WhatsApp group, I sent a wonderfully colorful pestle outline. I don't know if everyone has it in front of them. Do you want me to upload it here? It's a bit of a pain, but it'll take a few minutes to do. Has everyone got the group in front of them? James, why the hell are you so quiet? Okay, so a pestle analysis really looks at the macro environment, and we know that the macro environment is something that we cannot control. It doesn't mean that because we can't control it, that we do nothing about it. It is about those anticipatory moves that we have. It's about trying to figure out what potential changes will happen there, because the more proactive we are, the more likely we are to actually get ourselves ready for that environment. Now, what is nice about that colorful picture that I sent you is if you look at it, you can simply use those bits included there as a script. If we think of government policy, you can start with government policy is favorable as it allows for the registration of businesses to be speeded up or something like that. So you can use those as your opening lines. The key thing in terms of doing this pestle analysis when you get there is that it's about definitely not using verbs when you do the SWOT analysis, in particular the O and the T and the SWOT analysis. When we talk about the idea of doing the macro environmental analysis, it is to look at the pestle factors and anticipate what is going to happen there in order to get ourselves positioned, get the organization positioned for that anticipated future. Is everyone okay with that? I need some thumbs up from you. Does that make sense? Okay. Guys, I think that's pretty simple. I don't think there's any drama with that. Okay, cool. That's perfect. Okay, who else is on here? Melanie, that okay? Right, the second one, Michelle, yeah, I'll make sense of the CI cycle, I promise you, okay? I'll make sense of the CI cycle. What slide is the CI cycle on? Oh, I'll just keep going. Don't worry about it. I think it's right next. Okay. No, bugger. Okay. So there is the CI cycle. So let me just read the question for everyone again. Yeah, complete a CI cycle on NACID's consideration to add small business insurance to their policy options. Okay, so the strategic decision to be made is straightforward. It really is about expanding. Sorry, I'm getting WhatsApp messages here. The strategic decision to be taken is about expanding our product offering. You'll remember, we've not got there yet, but in second semester we will look at, but you would have done it in second and first year though. You will remember the idea of the grand strategies, and you would remember the idea of the growth strategies. As part of the growth strategies, you would have had market development and product development. This is an example of a product development strategy. Having said that, we see that they want to acquire Grenadilla Insurance. So although there's an element, the question says that it's about adding short-term insurance, that will always be product development. But then they talk about acquiring Grenadilla Insurance, which means that it is horizontal integration. Who remembers that? Remember, horizontal integration, which is acquiring your competitor, vertical integration, forward, backward. So the truth is, the decision that we're taking here is, do we add this specific? Do we product develop, or do we make this this horizontal integration decision? So it is about a grand strategy. The grand strategy is about product development, or it's about horizontal integration, and that relates to purchasing Grenadilla Insurance in order to expand our insurance offering to include short-term insurance. It's as simple as that. That makes sense, Michelle. These key intelligence topics are those topics that you require information on. So these are the focus areas in terms of our research. Now, obviously, I can't give you all the answers. So these would be the focus areas. What is important about the key intelligence topics is that it allows us to prioritize. It allows us to have some sort of direction. It allows us to have some sort of set of guidelines to give our intelligence team to go and find information on. So if I were in charge of this team, I would ask them to find out things around the market for short-term insurance. I mean, how saturated is that market? I would definitely want to know about Grenadilla Insurance. I would want to know what their existing customers think about Grenadilla Insurance. I would want to have some sort of understanding of how they're performing financially, what their brand presence is, what their brand reputation is, because you're buying an existing company. So these key intelligence topics will be an indication on what we need information on. I hope that answers your question from yesterday, Michelle. Okay, please don't overthink this. I think, yeah, and I don't know what they said in that NSS. I really don't care what they say in those things. I urge my students that I'm the person you listen to. I also think that I know more than, well, I know more than they do. So that's also the simple truth. So the third step in the CI cycle is then to go and collect. Sorry, I'm going to cough. So the third step, where do we get information from? So primary information, you need to decide where will they get information from. Please personalize this to the realities of your decision in terms of the first two steps. Don't just arbitrarily just throw things on a piece of paper. So those are the options. This is often in terms of being concerned about your competitors. Sorry, I'm highlighting the observing competitors' facilities. This is where we are concerned about competitors about to launch a new product, and all of a sudden there's massive expansion and there's a lot of building in terms of their premises. We see a lot of drone technology being used in this. Now remember that this is not espionage. Please remember that it's not espionage. Reverse engineering, Everyone does this. The moment Apple launches the new i14, Apple 14 phone, what will happen is Samsung will go and buy it. It'll break it down to its component parts and see what makes it special. The same thing when Samsung launches the S24, Apple will go buy one of those. What is important, though, would be the code, because it's very difficult to break the code and unravel the code and the actual software that's in there. And then publicly and available information. Oh, sorry, and also mystery shopping. People do mystery shopping all the time to do price comparisons, etc., to see how their customer service staff treat the people who actually go into the shop. Publicly available information. We know that Apple likes to brag and boast about the next big thing. Institutional information, going to the patent office. Yeah, getting hold of employees. Other ways of doing it is hiring employees from competitors, but that also is why we have restraints of trade, and then competitive signaling, where people let us know via media releases what their intentions are about the future. So what you need to do in terms of this, please, is to decide which ones are most appropriate based on your first two steps. And here, go ahead and collect. There's not much to say, and then your analysis. Now, the tools would be your pestle analysis, your SWOT analysis, etc. Please don't overthink this, everyone. Michelle, I think you are overthinking this. Does that make sense? Does it make more sense than what you had on Monday or Tuesday, whenever you had the previous meeting? Okay, so that's fairly straightforward. Yeah, you were overthinking it. Yeah, well, superior lecturer, it's not difficult. Oh, sorry, I'm very humble. I forgot about how humble I am as well. Humility, difficult to hide, guys. Difficult to hide. Right, and then pestle analysis. Yeah, so pestle analysis, again, it's only the macro factors. Don't wander into the micro market environment. And then the stupidity of the assignment, they then want you to do a SWOT analysis. I find this the most ridiculous thing. I'm quite happy if you skip the third bullet point and go straight into a SWOT analysis for me. I'm also quite happy if the SWOT analysis, you do it like this, divide it into a block like that. Sorry, let me make this a little bit smaller. If you do it like this, it's about how you present it, and you do strengths there, the weaknesses there, opportunities there, and you do your threats. Let me put it there, it looks better there, and your threats there. Just remember, if you write opportunities the moment, and I saw Leah did type that, the moment you put a verb into an opportunity, it becomes a strategy. I am concerned about this because people tend to bugger this up all the time. When is this assignment due? Sherbet. Oh my goodness. Okay. I am out of commission completely from the 4th, no, sorry, from tomorrow. In fact, when I finish here, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, I'm out of, oh my goodness me, crumbs. Okay, guys. Yeah, my family are kidnapping me for my birthday. I have a major birthday coming up this weekend, and my family are kidnapping me. I'm not allowed to have my phone. I'm not allowed to have my laptop. I'm not allowed to have anything. I also don't know where I'm going. I might be hanging upside down, or they might have a murder mystery weekend, and I might be the one who's being murdered. So, and I might be the mysterious disappearance in this weekend. Sherbet. Sherbet. Let me just see what my Tuesday is. Oh, come on, you stupid laptop. Okay. Guys, Tuesday, I will be available from early on all day. Okay, until about 3 o'clock, I'll be available. So please make sure, if you are nervous, to contact me on the group. Please do not send me emails. Oh my gosh, if I have to tell you how many emails I ignore because I get too many, do not send me emails. We have the group. What happens on the group stays on the group. I can voice note you. I can give you help. But in emails, I'm limited in terms of what I can give you. Please use the WhatsApp group. And people help each other on the WhatsApp group as well. So please, from Tuesday, please, if you need help, put stuff on. Be very careful in terms of the SWOT. Please look online what SWOT is about as well. Okay. Yeah, I can tell you the chapters in the textbook where you'll find the SWOT. The macro environment is Learning Unit 5, but I wouldn't even look at it simply because you've got that wonderful set of slides. Also part of SWOT will be the industry environment, where you will look specifically, and that's Learning Unit 6, where you will look at your competitors, you look at your suppliers, you will look at your intermediaries, you look at trade unions, your regulators, and then the internal environment, obviously your micro environment as well. That is Learning Unit 7. I think at this stage, at a third year level, you would know what a SWOT analysis is. Also, in terms of the SWOT analysis, everyone, I don't need it referenced. You are simply going to do a SWOT analysis based on that company. On Tuesday, I will help. If you need help, we can chat. Right, I'll help on Tuesday. Unfortunately, I'm lecturing Tuesday evening, and I'm not available from 3 o'clock till about half past 8. But if we need during lunchtime, I don't know if I have meetings, but what time is your lunchtime, everyone? If we need to have a quick chat during lunchtime, we can do it on this as well. But that's if it's an emergency. Is everyone okay with that? 12 to 1. Can we say if there is a real panic that we can have a quick collab between 12 and 1? I'll leave it in your hands, and can we just advertise that on the group? Can somebody please put it on the group? That will be for an emergency. Everyone is panicking between 12 and 1 on Tuesday. It will be the 9th. I won't be doing a thing. I'll be helping. Is everyone okay with that? I'm concerned about the SWOT analysis, okay? I'm concerned about the SWOT analysis. Otherwise, put stuff on. Please don't upload your SWOT, because I've got a lot of people in this group, and I'm concerned that it'll be a bugger up, okay? Because I'll have to see too many. Ask specific questions. I'll jump in and help. Right. Is everyone okay with first? Based on your analyses, the last thing you'll do is decide whether you should be purchasing Grenadella or not. Oh, the other thing, several people left out aspects of their question. Several people left out parts of their question. Please get into the habit of ticking off every one of the bullet points. The moment you leave out 1 or 2 bullet points, instead of marking you out of 30 or 40, I'm marking you out of half with 2/3 of the question. Please, please, please remember that you absolutely have to tick off the bullet points. So print out your assignment and mark off the bullet points as you answer each of the questions. And then the other thing, please don't submit anything that has not been run through the editor function in Word. Okay. Right, let's look at the, sorry, is everyone okay with question 1? Guys, I'm not going to put this on YouTube. I'm going to put this on your group, okay? Okay, so the second one, so usually made quickly to not lose out on fleeting opportunities that are turbulent business environment, written under immense time pressure. You are required to include in your report a disclaimer of sorts informing the constraints limitation you face during the, okay. Okay, so we're looking at the limitations related to writing our report. Okay, pretty easy to do. We are still in the same set of slides. Leah, did we find slides for that, or did we not get to that the previous time?
No, we didn't get to question 2 at all.
Okay, perfect, Leah. Let's have a glance at it quickly. Okay, I'm just going to open my own set of slides over yours, and then I'll tell you where to look. Okay, I thought there might be something in the slides. I know what the limitations are. I need to give you something that you can work with. Okay. Leah, did she find anything in terms of the NSS for this from the slides?
No, she didn't give us anything. She just said to us that we must look at the limitations of the best cylinder SWOT analysis. That's literally all she said.
Yeah, okay. Give me a second, I'll give you guys articles. Okay, I'll give me a second. Sorry, this is a little bit messy. Okay, guys, look at this one. Let's see. Thanks for doing that, Leah. Okay, guys, there is one. Oh, shit. Okay, now remember, you do not reference ResearchGate. What you will reference here is where is that? It is. I need to see which journal it is. Let me see if it'll allow me to download the PDF without. Oh my goodness me. Hold on a second. Which journal is this? Shucks. Okay. Okay, I will put the citation down for you now. Ah, crumbs, I had it and I buggered it up. Okay, so this is the citation. You will never cite ResearchGate. Okay, ResearchGate is like Google Scholar. You will never cite Google Scholar. There is the actual citation you'll use for that link. Is everyone okay with that? And in there are some very, very nice links of other text to look at. Okay, please open that. Sorry, you guys, I've got the WhatsApp open. I've got about 20 things open in front of me here, and I'm pretty good at doing one thing at a time because I'm thick. Okay, this one as well. Have a glance at this. Sorry. Okay, have a glance at this one as well. I'll give you the citation. So I'm putting this on the group for the people that aren't here. Okay, so the citation is here immediately after that. You see what this is. I'm a little bit worried that this might not be. Yeah, it's not a peer-reviewed thing, and I will not give you not a peer-reviewed thing. Sorry, I'm better than that. If I give this to you, people will say, well, you gave it to us, and I'm not giving it to you. I'm giving it to you as a guideline. If I give this one to you, will you guys take it as a suggestion? You're not allowed to use it. You can use it as a suggestion and go find stuff to support it. Is everyone okay with that? This last one, because it's bloody good, but it's not peer reviewed, and I'm not checking it because it don't be irritating me and using it, and then you say, well, you gave it to us. Okay. keep my WhatsApp open. Sorry, I've got other stuff open, so I'm a little bit dumb now. Right, let me see what people have typed. Okay, right, to go back to the questions. Okay. Yeah, so the reality in terms of pestle and any form of analysis is that they're static. So we anticipate and we assume that the world is static because we make predictions about the future, and we know that the world is not static. We often get blindsided by competitors launching, competitors closing down, and I'm talking about the banks again. So a lot of things blindside us, these unpredictable events, crazy weather patterns, sudden changes in weather, things that we had no way of anticipating. The floods last year in April in KwaZulu-Natal and in the Eastern Cape. So we might try and predict and anticipate, but there are no givens. So we try and be proactive, but in reality, most of our business decisions based on the insanity of the environment are now reactive. But it's still better than nothing. So we assume based on the SWOT and the pestle that we have a static environment. So it's very difficult to be objective, first of all, because when you sit with a group of managers, every manager represents the interests of their own department, and there will be parochial thinking. Politics will always play a role in terms of their thinking. They will always make out that their department is the most important. Each department works in terms of different time frames. Sales and marketing want to sell yesterday. They don't care about what happens tomorrow. Their time frame is immediate, or yesterday if you can. They want to sell and move product now. Research and development look 5-10 years into the future because that's what scientists do. Those differences. Your operations department can only build with what technologies are available right now. So timeframes are an issue. If we think of the challenges around credit and providing credit, sales would sell to anyone as much as possible and as soon as possible, and credit control have been taught to we've been taught to say no, and those are the kind of conflicts and political things that will impact all these decisions and the objectivities of these decisions. So I hope that's enough. Have a glance at that. Yeah, so it's not a static thing. It's always going to be based on opinion. The world changes differently to what we had anticipated. We are always surprised about what happens in the world. So I'm hoping, guys, that you have enough to work on there. And then the next one, oh, voila, not the next one. Look at these. Crayon.co, guys. Yeah, I think whoever was on will remember how I had a meltdown because they suggest blogs to us. And I'm talking peer-reviewed sources. How naive am I? Imagine I want standards. Any questions at this stage? My one.